In 1958, your grandmother scrubbed the front doorstep with a donkey stone every single morning. The council told her to stop. Health and safety, they said. Slip hazard. But here is the thing. Scientists recently tested surfaces treated with donkey stone and found they repelled bacteria more effectively than most modern antibacterial sprays. Number 14 on this list was actually outlawed by local councils in the 1970s. Yet microbiologists now say it created a self-cleaning environment modern products cannot replicate. And number 3 involves a substance so powerful that chemical companies spent decades convincing us it was dangerous, just so they could sell us a weaker version at 10 times the price. These 20 habits were so effective that entire industries were built on making us forget them. If you cleaned your house the way your grandmother cleaned hers, you would throw out half the bottles under your sink, and your home would actually be cleaner. Dettol hired marketing teams. Tillit Bang ran campaigns. Flash promised miracles in a bottle. All because a woman with a bucket and a bar of Sunlight soap was doing it better for a fraction of the price. Before we start, subscribe, because what you are about to learn might actually change how you clean your home forever. Let us count down the 20 smartest household habits that vanished from British homes. Number 20. Vinegar rinse on windows. Your mum never bought window cleaner. She filled a bucket with warm water, added a generous splash of vinegar, and wiped the glass with balled-up newspaper. The acetic acid in the vinegar dissolved lime scale and grease on contact, while the printer ink on the newspaper acted as a mild abrasive that left glass streak-free. A bottle of Sarsons cost about 4p and lasted months. Every Saturday morning, those front windows sparkled so clean, the neighbors could see their reflection walking past. Modern glass cleaners contain ammonia and synthetic surfactants that leave a thin residue film which actually attracts dust faster. Your grandmother's vinegar left nothing behind. Pure glass, zero residue. The technique vanished when newspapers switched to soy-based inks in the 1990s, which smeared instead of polished. But vinegar itself still works better than anything in a spray bottle. We just forgot. Number 19. The Donkey Stone doorstep. Every terrace street in Lancashire, Yorkshire and beyond had front steps scrubbed and edged with a donkey stone, a block of ground stone and bleach powder that cost about 2p from the rag and bone man. Your grandmother would get on her hands and knees every morning, wet the step, and rub the stone across in smooth arcs. The pale cream finish was a badge of pride. A dirty step meant a dirty house. But the donkey stone did more than look pretty. The calcium compounds in the stone created an alkaline surface that repelled mold, mildew, and bacteria. In damp northern terraces where black mold crept across every surface, that treated doorstep stayed clean for days. Council health officers began discouraging the practice in the late 1960s, claiming the wet steps were a slip hazard for elderly residents. By the 1980s, the donkey stone had vanished entirely. We replaced a natural antibacterial barrier with plastic doormats that harbor more germs than a toilet seat. Number 18. Soda crystals in the wash. Before biological washing powders existed, your mum threw a handful of washing soda crystals into every load. A bag cost 6p and lasted 6 weeks. The sodium carbonate softened hard water, boosted the cleaning power of basic soap flakes, and stripped grease from overalls and kitchen cloths that nothing else could shift. More importantly, the alkaline solution killed bacteria at temperatures as low as 40 degrees Celsius, decades before washing machines had antibacterial cycles. Your mom would soak stained tea towels overnight in a bucket of dissolved soda crystals. By morning, they came out white without a single drop of bleach. The crystals also kept the washing machine itself clean, dissolving limescale and soap scum from the drum and pipes. When Persil and Bold launched enzyme-based detergents in the 1970s, Soda crystals became old-fashioned overnight. But enzymes break down in hard water areas, leaving clothes grey and machines furred up. Soda crystals never had that problem. Number 17. Beating rugs outdoors. That carpet beater hanging in every back passage was not decorative, it was essential. Your grandmother would haul the rugs over the washing line every week and beat them until clouds of dust filled the back garden. The rhythm of it, thwack, 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 could be heard 3 streets away on a Saturday morning. This removed dust mites, skin cells, pet hair, and embedded dirt that no vacuum of the era could reach. More importantly, the ultraviolet light from even weak British sunlight killed bacteria and dust mite eggs trapped in the fibers. A carpet beater cost 1 shilling and lasted a lifetime. Council bylaws in several cities began restricting rug beating in the 1960s. Officials blamed noise complaints and dust nuisance for neighbors. By the 1970s, fitted carpets made the practice impossible anyway. We sealed dust mites into wall-to-wall carpet and bought vacuum cleaners that pushed half the dirt deeper into the pile. Your grandmother's method was brutal but thorough. Nothing survived a proper beating and an afternoon in the sun. Number 16. Lye soap for everything. That big yellow bar of sunlight soap sitting on the kitchen windowsill was your grandmother's universal cleaning product. She grated it into hot water for mopping floors. She rubbed it directly onto shirt collars before washing. She dissolved it for scrubbing the kitchen table, the bathroom tiles, and the children. 1 bar cost about 3p in 1955 and replaced a dozen modern products. Lye soap is naturally antibacterial. The high pH breaks down grease and kills germs without synthetic chemicals. It rinses clean, leaving no residue for bacteria to feed on. When liquid detergents and specialized sprays flooded the market in the 1960s, the humble soap bar was dismissed as primitive. Fairy liquid promised soft hands. Flash promised sparkling floors. Suddenly you needed a different product for every surface. But that single bar of sunlight soap cleaned everything, and cleaned it better, because the soap itself was the antibacterial agent. No fragrance masking dirt, no residue pretending to protect. Just clean. First pattern break. Here is where things get interesting. Your grandmother did not just clean surfaces. She understood AIR flow in a way modern homes have completely forgotten. Every morning, winter or summer, she opened the front door and the back door at the same time, creating a through draft that swept through the entire house in minutes. Stale air, cooking smells, damp, cigarette smoke, all of it was pulled out and replaced with fresh air. That 10-minute ritual did what no air freshener or extractor fan could match. It reduced humidity, preventing condensation and mold on window frames. It dispersed volatile organic compounds from coal fires and paraffin heaters. It also introduced UV-carrying daylight into dark corridors. Modern homes are sealed tight for energy efficiency, double-glazed and draft-proofed within an inch of their lives. Indoor air quality studies from University College London now show that modern British homes trap pollutants at levels 2 to 5 times higher than outdoor air. Your grandmother's drafty terrace was healthier than your insulated new build. We sealed the house and bought plug-in air fresheners to mask the problem. She just opened the doors. Number 14. Coal ash on icy paths. When frost coated the front path, your grandfather did not reach for rock salt. He scattered coal ash from the fireplace. The dark ash absorbed sunlight and melted ice faster than salt, and the gritty texture provided grip without damaging shoes or concrete. But here is what councils missed when they banned the practice in the 1970s, calling it an unsightly mess. Coal ash is mildly alkaline, and when it washed into the soil beside the path, it suppressed moss and weed growth for months. The silica content in coal ash also provided a mild abrasive that kept paving slabs clean underfoot. Families saved ash in a metal bucket beside the back door all winter, free and always available. Today we buy bags of rock salt for £4. They corrode metal, kill grass, and damage concrete. Your grandfather's coal ash did none of those things. It melted the ice, gripped your shoes, cleaned the path, and fed the soil. We banned it and bought an inferior replacement. Number 13. Newspaper shelf liners. Your grandmother lined every kitchen shelf, every drawer, and every pantry surface with layers of old newspaper. She replaced them weekly, sometimes daily in summer. This was not laziness. This was pest control. Fresh newspaper repelled silverfish. The printer's ink contained compounds that deterred moths, weevils, and carpet beetles. The paper itself absorbed moisture that would otherwise encourage mold in unventilated pantries and larders. A stack of yesterday's Daily Mirror cost nothing and protected food stores better than any modern shelf liner. When something spilled, you simply balled up the paper, tossed it in the fire, and laid a fresh sheet. The whole operation took 30 seconds. Modern plastic shelf liners trap moisture underneath, creating perfect conditions for mold. Adhesive versions leave residue that attracts dirt. Your grandmother's newspaper was replaced before bacteria could establish, creating a surface that was effectively sterile every single week. Number 12. Whitewashing walls. Every spring, families in mining towns, farming communities, and council estates mixed a bucket of slaked lime with water and painted it onto kitchen walls, cellar walls, outhouse walls, and sometimes entire exteriors. A bag of lime cost about 1 shilling and covered an entire room. The whitewash dried to a bright, clean surface that reflected light into dark rooms. But the real genius was the chemistry. Lime is powerfully antibacterial. The alkaline nature of fresh whitewash killed mold, mildew, and bacteria on contact. In damp cellars where black mold would creep back within weeks of scrubbing, whitewash kept surfaces clean for an entire season. Hospitals used it for centuries. Dairies required it by law until the 1960s. Yet building regulations and the rise of emulsion paint made whitewash seem outdated. We replaced a self-sanitizing, breathable coating with synthetic paint that traps moisture behind a plastic film and encourages the very mold whitewash prevented. Some heritage organizations are now recommending a return to lime wash for damp buildings. Your grandmother never stopped knowing it worked. Number 11. Salt scrub on wooden tables. That big pine kitchen table your grandmother owned was never varnished or oiled. Every Saturday she scrubbed it with coarse salt and half a lemon, working the crystals into the grain until the wood turned pale and smelled of citrus. Then she rinsed with cold water and left it to dry in the air. The salt drew moisture and bacteria out of the wood fibers through osmosis. The lemon juice provided citric acid that killed bacteria on the surface. Together they bleached stains, removed odors, and left the table naturally sanitized. A bag of cooking salt cost 2 pence. Lemons were 6 pence each. The process took 15 minutes and left the kitchen smelling clean without a single chemical product. Modern antibacterial sprays sit on sealed surfaces and break down within hours. Your grandmother's salt scrub penetrated the wood itself, creating an inhospitable environment for bacteria that lasted all week. We seal our tables with polyurethane and spray them with chemicals that evaporate before tea time. Second pattern break. Controversy incoming. Here is where cleaning product companies get nervous. Your grandmother understood something about soap that took scientists until the 2000s to prove. She never used antibacterial products because ordinary soap was already antibacterial enough. In 2016, The US Food and Drug Administration banned triclosan and 18 other antibacterial chemicals from consumer soap products after studies showed they were no more effective than regular soap and water. The companies had spent 50 years selling us a solution to a problem that did not exist. Your grandmother's bar of Carbolic soap, her block of sunlight, her tin of Vim, they all worked through simple chemistry. Soap molecules surround and lift bacteria from surfaces, and hot water carries them away. No triclosan needed, no antibacterial agents needed. The products we bought to replace her methods were not better. They were just more expensive, and some of them, we now know, contributed to antibiotic resistance. She was not old-fashioned. She was right. Number 10. Boiling the dishcloth. Every evening, after the washing up was done, your mum dropped the dishcloth into a pan of boiling water on the hob for 5 minutes. Sometimes she added a spoonful of soda crystals or a splash of bleach. Then she wrung it out and hung it on the oven door handle to dry overnight. This killed 100% of bacteria. Not 99.9%. 100%. Modern microbiologists at the University of Furtwangen tested kitchen sponges and found over 362 different species of bacteria, with densities reaching 45 billion per square centimeter. Their recommendation matched your grandmother exactly. Replace or boil your cloth regularly. We switched to synthetic sponges that cannot be boiled without melting, and we keep them in warm, damp sinks where bacteria double every 20 minutes. Your grandmother's cotton dishcloth, boiled nightly and dried in the air, was cleaner than anything in your kitchen right now. Number 9. Lavender in the linen cupboard. Those little cloth bags of dried lavender tucked between folded sheets were not there for the smell. Well, not entirely. Lavender contains linalool and linaloyl acetate, compounds that repel moths, silverfish, and dust mites. Your grandmother dried lavender from the garden, sewed it into small cotton pouches, and placed them in wardrobes, drawers, and linen cupboards throughout the house. A summer's harvest of lavender provided enough sachets to last a full year, at no cost at all. The sachets also absorbed excess moisture in closed cupboards, preventing the musty smell that came from damp fabric stored in unventilated spaces. When synthetic mothballs arrived, reeking of naphthalene, a substance we now know is toxic, the lavender sachets were dismissed as quaint. We replaced a safe, effective, free natural insect repellent with a carcinogenic chemical that cost money and made the house smell like a public toilet. Number 8. Blacking the range. Every Friday evening, your grandmother applied black lead paste to the cast iron range, buffing it to a mirror shine with a stiff brush. The paste, a mixture of graphite and wax, cost about 4p a tin and created a protective layer that prevented rust and made the surface almost non-stick. Grease, food splashes, and soot wiped clean from a properly blacked range with nothing more than a damp cloth. The graphite filled the microscopic pores in the cast iron, leaving no crevices for bacteria or food particles to hide. When gas and electric cookers replaced ranges in the 1960s, the art of blacking vanished overnight. Modern stainless steel and enamel cooktops look clean, but they develop micro-scratches that harbor bacteria within months. Your grandmother's blacked range got smoother and more hygienic with every application. Number 7. Carbolic soap in the bathroom. That dark red bar of Lifebuoy Carbolic soap sat in every bathroom dish from the 1890s through to the 1970s. Your family washed hands, scrubbed the bath, and cleaned the sink with the same bar. Carbolic acid, derived from coal tar, was a powerful disinfectant that killed bacteria on contact. Florence Nightingale championed it. Hospitals relied on it. Every mother trusted it. A bar cost about 3p and lasted a month. The distinctive smell, medicinal and sharp, meant clean in every household in Britain. When perfumed liquid soaps arrived promising luxury, Carbolic was dismissed as harsh and old-fashioned. But those liquid soaps required preservatives to prevent bacterial growth in the bottle itself. Some of those preservatives, parabens and formaldehyde releases, are now under scrutiny for potential health effects. Carbolic soap needed no preservatives. It was the preservative. The bar itself could not harbor bacteria. Number 6. Airing the beds. Every morning, your grandmother pulled back the blankets and sheets, opened the bedroom window, and left the bed stripped for at least an hour before making it. She was not lazy. She was killing dust mites. The average person loses about half a pint of moisture overnight through sweat and breathing. Dust mites thrive in warm, damp environments. By pulling back the covers and exposing the mattress to cool air and daylight, your grandmother created conditions that dust mites could not survive. A Kingston University study found that leaving beds unmade reduced dust mite populations by up to 80% compared to immediately making the bed. Your grandmother did this every single morning and was told she was untidy for it. Modern advice says, make your bed first thing. Good habits, they say. But your grandmother's airing routine was better hygiene, backed by science she never had access to, but understood instinctively. Third pattern break. Before fitted kitchens and stainless steel sinks, your grandmother had a shallow stone sink called a slop stone. Every surface in the kitchen was scrubbed weekly with a solution of hot water and common soda, followed by a cold rinse. The stone itself was naturally porous and alkaline, which prevented bacterial biofilms from forming the way they do on modern stainless steel and composite surfaces. After scrubbing, she would leave the surfaces to ARR dry completely, never wiping them with a cloth that might redeposit bacteria. Modern kitchen hygiene advice tells us to spray and wipe. But that wiping step redistributes bacteria across the surface. Your grandmother's method of scrub, rinse, and air dry is now recommended by food safety researchers as the most effective way to decontaminate kitchen surfaces. We made kitchens prettier. She made them cleaner. Number 5. Tea leaves on the carpet. Before vacuuming the floor, your grandmother scattered damp used tea leaves across the carpet and left them for 10 minutes. Then she swept them up with a stiff broom. The damp leaves clung to dust, hair, and fine particles that a dry broom would simply push deeper into the pile. The tannins in the tea also acted as a mild deodorizer, absorbing stale smells from the fibers. A day's worth of used tea leaves cost nothing. The technique was so effective that hotels used it well into the 1950s. When vacuum cleaners became affordable in the 1960s, the tea leaf trick vanished overnight. Early vacuum cleaners had poor filtration and actually blew fine dust particles back into the room through their exhaust. Your grandmother's damp tea leaves captured everything, including the microscopic particles that vacuum cleaners missed entirely. Number 4. Hearthstoning the front step. In homes without donkey stone, Hearthstone served the same purpose. A soft sandstone block was rubbed in patterns across the front step, windowsills, and sometimes even the pavement outside the front door. The sandy residue filled the pores of the stone, creating a smooth, sealed surface that was easy to sweep and resistant to staining. The mineral content of the hearthstone was mildly antiseptic. In an era before antibiotics, when a simple cut could become dangerously infected, keeping the step clean was not vanity. It was public health. Children played on those steps. Babies crawled on them. The weekly hearthstoning kept surfaces cleaner than any modern paving treatment. The practice faded in the 1960s as concrete replaced sandstone and front gardens replaced open steps. We gained driveways, but lost a cleaning method that had kept homes safe for generations. Number 3. Borax for everything. That small green box of borax in your grandmother's cleaning cupboard was the most versatile product in the house. She dissolved it in water to disinfect the toilet. She sprinkled it behind cupboards to kill cockroaches. She added it to laundry to brighten whites. She mixed it with lemon juice to remove rust stains from the bath. A box cost about 6p and lasted months. Borax is a naturally occurring mineral that disrupts the cellular membranes of insects, prevents mold growth, and neutralizes odors through chemical reaction rather than masking. It was used in British homes for over a century. Then, in the early 2000s, EU regulations reclassified borax as a reproductive toxin, effectively banning its sale as a consumer cleaning product. The classification was based on studies using quantities far beyond anything a household would encounter. Meanwhile, the products that replaced it, synthetic disinfectants, bleach alternatives, and chemical insecticides, carried their own health warnings in far larger print. Some researchers have questioned whether the ban served public health or simply cleared shelf space for proprietary products. Your grandmother used a teaspoon at a time, and her house was spotless. Number 2, the weekly front-to-back clean. Your grandmother did not spot clean. She did not spray and wipe. Once a week, usually Friday, she cleaned the entire house from front to back, top to bottom, in a single, systematic sweep. Grandmother started upstairs. Bedrooms first, stripped, aired, and swept. Then the stairs, brushed down with a stiff hand brush. Then the front room, rarely used and quickly done. Then the kitchen, scrubbed on hands and knees. Then the scullery. Then the back step. Every surface, every room, every week, in the same order. This method was not obsessive, it was microbiologically sound. By always cleaning from the cleanest spaces to the dirtiest, she prevented cross-contamination. By doing it all in one session, she ensured no room was neglected long enough for bacteria or mold to establish. Modern cleaning happens in scattered bursts, a wipe here, a spray there. Bathrooms can go weeks between deep cleanse. Kitchens often get only a quick surface spray. Your grandmother's method was exhausting, but it meant every surface in the house was cleaned within the same 24-hour window. Nothing was forgotten. Nothing was left to fester. Number 1. Scalding the drains. Every Sunday night, your grandmother boiled the kettle and poured a full pot of boiling water down every drain in the house. Kitchen sink, bathroom basin, bath plug. Sometimes she added washing soda. Sometimes just the boiling water. The heat killed bacteria colonies living in the pipe biofilm, melted accumulated grease, and flushed food particles before they could decompose and cause blockages. This 5-minute ritual prevented the foul drain smell that plagues modern kitchens where food waste sits in U-bends for weeks. It eliminated the conditions where drain flies breed. It kept pipes clear without caustic chemical unblockers. A kettle of water cost a fraction of a penny in gas. Modern drain cleaners contain sodium hydroxide, strong enough to cause chemical burns. Enzyme-based alternatives take hours to work and cost several pounds a bottle. Your grandmother's boiling water worked instantly, cost nothing, and never damaged the pipes. We stopped doing it because nobody told us to keep doing it. The cleaning aisle got longer, the kettle stayed on the shelf, and our drains got worse. Try one of these this week. Just one. Vinegar window rinses, boiled dishcloths, scalded drains. Then come back and tell me if your grandmother was just old-fashioned, or if she actually knew something that a billion-pound cleaning industry spent decades trying to make us forget. Share which one you are going to try in the comments. I want to know if the tea leaves on the carpet get more love than the borax believers. Because these were not just cleaning habits. They were wisdom. Your grandmother knew. Now you know too.